Hello. Hello, everybody. How are y'all out there today? I'm doing pretty good myself. Trying to get out of this thing I got going here. Let's see if I could show my comments. Okay. Hey, Pudding Tang. I'm glad you could join me today. How are you doing? How you doing today, Miss Pudding Tang? I have to say I'm doing pretty good. I had a good day. I did some yard work and I made some zucchini bread today. It is well with my soul. Well, that's good to hear. I have to say it's well with mine too. I'm gonna put my invitation up here. Let's see if I can get it posted on here or not. That's a barn actually that Errol built. That's the newest addition to it. Even though this looks very new right here behind me, it actually has some age on it now. That's a picture of when he was actually just building it. He's built a lot of stuff around here. He built our little house, and then when we added on to it, he hired some people to come and add on to it, but he ended up finishing it. And then the barn you see right there, he built that. He cooks and builds. That is a blessing. Yes, it sure is. He can build stuff and he does a good job at it too. You might have seen that little project he had did when he had built onto the boat shed out there. He built a little fish cleaning table in the backyard that we use all the time. Yeah, he's a good cook too. He sure was stirring it up the other day. And cleans. Yeah, well, he does. He cleans after himself when he's cooking. He's actually better about that part than I am. I kind of tend to let the dishes pile up while I'm cooking, and then I'll just wash them all at once. Sometimes I'm starting to learn about cleaning as I go in the kitchen, which it does. It works a lot better when you do it that way. It's a lot easier. It's not all piled up like I do it. You too, you make a mess when you cook. I do too. If I'm stirring something, I'm pretty sure it's going to come out the bowl and end up on the countertop or whatever. So my stove is something I have to clean pretty often. I guess everybody does. But I know like my mom, when one little piece of grease hits the stove, she wipes it off. But I kind of let mine add up a little bit before I take the effort to clean the whole thing off. But I found some good stuff. Oh, you like those words at the bottom? I do too. I found something similar to that in a little book, and I kind of made it my own by redoing it. It comes out of this little book. What is it? Priceless Gifts. It's a bunch of little poems in it. And they have some of them identifies the authors of them and some of them doesn't. But I kind of took the sayings out of a couple of them and reworded them for that, because I just discovered that you can do that little ticker tape at the bottom. When I was watching somebody else's live last night, it was Peter from Old Man Homestead, I think. I hope I'm saying that right. I know his name is Peter, but he has a ticker tape like that when he does his lives. And I was asking him about it, because he uses StreamYard also. And I was asking him, did he have to pay extra basically to do that? Hi, Linus. Welcome. And he said, no, it was just the part of the regular free, the free thing for StreamYard. Frankfort, Delaware. Wow. Hi, Tang. Frankfort, Delaware. That's a good little piece from where we're at. It's almost totally, it's almost all the way up north, not quite. We're all the way down south over here. Oh, okay. Oh, Germany. Oh, okay. Not Delaware. Wow. Yeah, you're definitely a good little piece away from us then. Is the weather nice in Germany? Yes. Is the weather nice in Germany often? I'm just wondering for Pudding to say that. MBA. I'm here to do MBA. So what is that? We had good weather here today, if you like it hot. Oh, the weather's not so good in Germany often. Your husband was over there in the 80s. Well, we had a friend. My sister has a friend that was from Germany, and she came, and did her school, some of her latter schooling here in the U.S. But it was my sister's friend, and they was older than me, so I didn't get to hang out with them, and I didn't get very much information about the country. I know one thing she said was when she came here, she said that we had too many choices on the shelves, like for shampoos and stuff like that. Because when you go on, I mean, I don't know how it is there now, but evidently when she was there, it wasn't a whole lot of choices of different stuff on the shelves. His dad was military. Wow. I have to move this light. Y'all, it's shining right in my eyes. It's irritating me. Okay. It's kind of dark, but it's better than that shining right in my eyes like that. I heard that a lot of American whites have German ancestry. I think that's a hyped up, made believe fact, but I'll take it. German. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Germany is good, but they have serious immigration problems. Then he went back in 2000 to Berlin for a visit. So y'all have serious immigration problems. Mm. Well, I guess we do too, or we did. It seems to be calmed down a lot now. Thank goodness. It was pretty bad, but it's still bad. I mean, there was so many of, you know, illegal immigrants that had came in during the Biden administration. Hey, Brett, I'm glad you came in. Good to see you. How you feeling today? You still on that Pink Floyd trip? Drew Hines 57 Pudding is, she said, from all over Europe. Well, my mother's maiden name is Duplichan. Now, I'm not really sure what the ancestry on that is. Back to work, says Brett. So no more Pink Floyd for you, Brett? You're not gonna have the Pink Floyd and the Rush tonight like last night? When I start on those music videos, that can go for a while. I think a lot of those Pink Floyd videos actually is about Germany and Berlin and the wall and, the wall. Work. It's gray and cloudy. We Americans cannot take it. Berlin is a world-class city, a must-visit for everyone to understand a great deal of world history. Well, it's good to be able to experience that, I'm sure. I really don't care to leave the country that I'm in. I just don't feel like it's a good idea. England is gray too, and lots of gray days, Pudding says. Oh, look now. Brett's been watching some news here. He's been stuck on watching what's going on in Britain, in the UK and stuff. Looking at some different news stuff too, actually, earlier today. I seen Trump had signed some executive orders having to do with cashless bail policies. They were saying that those policies are a huge driver of the catch and release, where they catch criminals and just let them go. Well, that's a lot of hard work for the police just to go and catch them and just let them go. This charges I'm reading what they said. They said it charges the Attorney General with identifying jurisdiction all over the country that have cashless bail policy and holds or revokes federal funds and grants that are flowing into those jurisdictions to ensure that they are only supporting the people that have reasonable common sense policies. So hopefully it'll help. Okay, maybe one time you can visit Germany. I doubt it. If I could be promised to go there and come back. Yeah, but I don't know. Tang says, after I left the U.S. in the mid-'80s, I never want to leave the U.S. again. You see, I never left, and I don't ever want to. Now, Brett saying he would love to visit Germany. My hair is German-Irish. My heritage, I guess, is what he is saying. It's German, Irish, and Italian. Yeah, I figured that out, Brett. Tang, since the 80s, the world has totally changed. I'm sure it's probably gotten even worse. Burning the flag is a crime too. Yes, I heard it on the news. Yes, it says that it is inciting a riot because people get so upset on both sides. The ones who's burning them and the ones who's saying they shouldn't be burned, you know. It says instance charges Justice Department within investigating, I can't read my own handwriting, y'all. Instances involving flag burning. Where there's evidence of criminal activity and where prosecution would wouldn't fall afoul to the First Amendment. But they're saying like a 1-year jail sentence. I was in the USAF, so I didn't have a choice. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I love the Bible Belt region because I'm Christian Protestant. There are flaws, but I love my culture. Linus, that is wonderful, Pudding Tang says. We enjoyed watching your husband cook yesterday. Did you see when he got that rag caught in that mixer? Yeah, well, we're Christian here too, Linus, so we're always learning to open-minded to learning the truth and not offended by losing what's not true. Yeah, the mixer did stop. When that rag got caught in it, it stopped. Love is a good thing. Linus covers a multitude of sin. Just love. How you like that? Amen to that, huh? Because that was some good things that he signed, those executive orders. I got to looking up some different recalls for the week, and so I'll share those with y'all now. The food recalls. I've seen where 32,000 pounds of meat was recalled for fraudulent USDA inspection mark. The company name was Sobroctius Hondurans, LLC of Edison, New Jersey. I know that is a strange name. I have a picture of it so you can just see in case, you know, you want to see what the packaging looks like. I'm going to put that up for you. You see that it's backwards, but that's what the packaging looks like. It evidently had fraudulent USDA inspection mark. So I guess that would be this right here. It's fraudulent. Okay. That's crazy, huh? So you might recognize the packaging at least if you bought some of this stuff. It's showing a cow and a pig on the front, so I don't know if this is beef or pork. I'm not sure, but you can look it up. If you have a package like with this labeling on it, you might want to look at it again and see what's going on with it. Another one was some raw shrimp sold at Walmart. And the reason it's being recalled is for being potentially radioactive. And the name on it is frozen raw, easy peel, tail on, farm raised, white venimi shrimp. Frozen raw, easy peel, tail on, farm raised, white venimi shrimp. And it's being recalled for being potentially radioactive. So that's crazy. I didn't see the red button mixture. I'm going to have to watch the rest, I guess. Oh, yeah. You watched a video of mine one time? Okay. I'll take that. Just popped up, the live just popped up on your homepage, so you immediately hopped in. Well, I'm glad you did. You're always welcome here. So many recalls these days. Did you see the Bluebell ice cream recall? No. And thank goodness I don't have any in my freezer right now because I do like the Bluebell. You only eat the Gulf of America shrimp. Okay. Well, good. You're supporting the industry right here. That's great. Another recall was on some 7-Up Zero Sugar Tropical Soda. The problem with it was a labeling error. It's supposed to be zero sugar, but those actually have sugar in them. So that could be a potential problem for people who's watching their sugar, especially diabetics. So if you have some of that 7-Up Zero Sugar Tropical Soda and you're diabetic, you might really want to look into that. And then this recall was strange. It was for some pots made by an Indian manufacturer for a tendency to leaching lead into food. I thought that was really odd, but it said it was the way that they manufacture what these metals over there with aluminum and everything has the potential to do that, and that they're not checked, like American standards or whatever. And the name on those pots would be Tiger White. And they're deep pots for simmering or frying. They're silver looking. I have a picture of that pot they showed. I hope I didn't just disconnect everybody. Okay. I think I hit the wrong button. Sometime I do that. Oh, I never could download the pot. Okay. That's okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I do eat okra. I've been cooking okra almost every day because my okra is coming in like crazy, and I picked some today, so I'll be cooking some very soon. The Bluebell was chocolate chip cookie dough. And Mooly Nile Crunch. I know I'm saying that wrong. The container said one of the types, and the container said the other. Okay, Lina says, my dad's side has ancestry from the Appalachian region. Cool. And the last of my food recalls has to do with coffee. There's like a lot of them being recalled, so you might want to check yours. There was so many, it was too many for me to even try to write them down and mention. But one of them was the Clover Valley instant coffee that's sold by Dollar General. And it's being sold in every state except Hawaii and Alaska. And it may contain glass instant coffee from the Dollar General, being sold under the brand Clover Valley, may contain glass. So you definitely want to check into that one if you have some of that. That's all of my recalls. That's that. The container lid said one thing and the container said the other. Oh, so it was like a labeling issue too then. It wasn't really like anything wrong with the ice cream. It just, the lid said one thing and the bucket said another. The container said another. Okay. Well, I see what you're talking about. If that's the case, then it's not dangerous to eat it. They just put the wrong thing on it. And you see those little labeling things sometimes in manufacturing where they put the wrong one. I had seen that with some white beans one time. It said red beans on them. Some dried beans. Yeah, so not real bad, just label confusing. So I have a couple of kids. That's one of them running in the background there, but he's all grown up now. That's an old picture, and that was taken down by Sabine Pass, which is close to Holly Beach. That would be the Gulf of America you're seeing there. At that time, it was the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, that would be my son coming running around the corner there. We was catching some fish out there, different kinds. They're catching some flounder under there, actually. That was taken a lot of years ago. Like it was about to rain. There's a lot of clouds in the sky that day. I don't see Michelle today. I don't know what happened to her. She must be busy today, huh? She must have found her something else to do. Or she forgot that we was on. I think everybody loves John Kennedy's jokes. He's something else. Flounder is delicious. Love the fried flounder tail. Yeah, it is good. We don't get it very often around here because, we're kind of far from the ocean. We used to get it when we would go down there to Holly Beach and go fishing. Yeah, she probably forgot. And yes, I'm originally from Louisiana. You said your dad was from the Appalachian region. Linus. So you say you're American, but you're in Germany. So where are you originally from? Yeah, she's probably tending to all them dogs, huh? She's getting ready for her mama to come up there too. So she's probably busy planning for all that. Been trying to go help her mama pack, but every time I go up there I can't catch her. Hey Cosmos, how you doing? Oh yeah, it's very exciting for her. I know she's excited about that. She hadn't seen her mom in a while. They hadn't seen each other in a while. And her son is over there too, so I know my sister's excited about going up there. Dad's great grandfather was in Jellican and Appalachian region, but he worked for the Singapore Railroads Company. Thanks. I'm trying to get this hair straightened out, y'all, because my hair wants to be gray or actually white. My mom and dad, when they got older, they both of them, their hair turned white, not gray, white. And mine's trying to do that too. And it's hard to make the transition because I had brown hair, as you can see, and I colored it brown for many years. But it's turning white very rapidly. Thanks. For railroads and met my mother, who is a lordy, I don't know what that word is. Woman from Indian Union. Telugu Kananani? I don't know. I know I said that totally wrong. From Indian Union. You like the white hair color? Is white. And I was born in Port Blair. Now I'm reading Linus's, y'all. Which is now Port of India. And I was raised in multiple places across Asia. Okay, well, I was under the impression that you were American. Or are you? I mean, I'm just confused right now. So forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. You sounds like you've been all over the place and got people from all over the place. Born in Port Blair, which is now Port of India. So did you like come to America and become a citizen? That's what I'm wondering. Uh, I'm guessing a Heinz too, says Puddentang. And then Linus says, I came to the States when I was small, and then my mom wanted to leave, so we left. Oh. So did you stay in the States for long at all? Did you live here for a long any time? Just a little while or what? I'm trying to look up some of the information you're telling me because I don't understand all of it. Roughly 8 years in the 90s. Well, my friend, my sister's friend that came from Germany and did high school here, her mom wanted to leave too, and she went back to Germany as well. She didn't want to stay either. Master's in Business Administration. Well, okay, I'll hear you. You are all over the place. Yeah, you're gonna learn all kind of stuff doing that. Ought to be able to get a good job doing no telling what. Well, y'all, I used my little chainsaw for the first time today. I got a little battery operated chainsaw, and I've been having it for probably 3 months or something. And Mr. E showed me how to use it right when we got it, and I was just like scared. And then I watched some different videos, like bloopers with people using chainsaws, and I didn't want to touch the chainsaw after that. And then finally today, I got up the nerve and I went on ahead and used it, and it did good. So, but I didn't video it because I had to cut okra today. I had to trim the plants. I had to wash sheets. Um, you know, put the bed back together with the sheets, and then I cut some bamboo, and also cut my mulberry tree, a couple branches off of it, and I cut some of crepe myrtle tree, and then I had to haul all that stuff, which I still have to haul some of it to the goats and let them eat that, what I cut. And it just seemed like it was one thing after another today. I probably did good if I had a camera attached to my head while I was doing all that. Okay, I said I'm American in the sense that my dad's side has lineage from the Appalachian region, but realistically, I'm not an American because I lost my green card status a long time ago. Okay, I understand. Now I get what you're saying. Because my mom wanted to live close to her family in Singapore, and then Port Blair, and then in South Central India. Lot of movements. Yeah. Well, it sounds exciting. It sounds like a lot of adventure. I was raised in the same house that from the time that I was 4 until I was 18. And my mom and dad stayed living in that house until I was 50, I want to say. So they stayed in that house all those years, the same house for 54 years at least. Well, I got that wrong. I messed up my math, but they stayed there a very long time. And since I've been married, I've been in the same house. You know, I've been in this house for close to 25 years. So I hadn't moved around and had all that adventure that you've had. My grandfather had to move wherever the railroads and naval companies made them move, Lina says. Back in those days, many families moved places all the time. I guess you got to do what you got to do. You got to survive. You have to have a job where you can pay for food and shelter. We was just blessed, my dad and mom, they were able to buy a house back then and stay in it all those years. Puddin', you've been in the same house for 30 years. Well, you kind of like me. It's a lot cheaper here to buy a house than it is to rent. That's what I find. Yeah, Americans don't visit a lot more than 5 or 7 states. Yeah, really. I mean, that's probably about like how many I've been to. I was able to go to Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. I I think we got to go into a little bit of Tennessee, very, very southern part of Tennessee through Georgia. And so yeah, that's 6 states. And then you add in Louisiana, that's 7. So that's a very good estimate, Linus. Can't afford to go anywhere if we want it today. I am not leaving my house if I don't have to. And then I got animals, I got goats and sheep and chickens that has to be fed every day. Dogs, cats. I'm not gonna ask nobody to come over here and feed all that every day. And I don't like to leave home. I find the more I leave home, the more behind I get on my chores around here. I don't know who's traveling a lot, but it is not me. I promise you that. My truck, I have a truck that I've been having for I think it's over 20 years old, my truck. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. No San Francisco and no Seattle. And I don't want to go there. That's 2 places I don't care to go to, or Boston or New York City. Nope, I don't want to go any of them places. I see them on TV, and that's good enough for me. Places that I would be interested in visiting in the United States would be more rural areas, places that have mountains and streams and waterfalls and natural beauty. The city, that doesn't interest me. That's not a place that I find that that's a dangerous place, the city. Crime can be anywhere. Yeah, crime can be anywhere. It can be here, you know. But I find that in the cities, the crime is just running rampant. And a lot of those places, they do need to be cleaned up. Their DAs have allowed the criminals to get away with everything. The cops go out and arrest these criminals. They bring them in. with some kind of charges. They pay some fines and they're let go. That's my opinion now. That's my point of view. I'm not going to say that's how it is in concrete, but that's how I see it. Oh, yeah, it's bad there. But you know what? There, there's a town here near here that's bad for that as well. Carjackings. It's just a little old town. Ain't nobody hardly living in it. But the crime is unbelievable. You can't even go to the gas station without worrying about getting carjacked, stabbed, shot, whatever. You know, it's bad. John Kennedy's ad was super funny. Yeah, everybody loves that fella, including me. Because you know why I like him? Because he has common sense. He speaks, and what he's saying is making sense. Some of these politicians, they talk and talk, and there's nothing coming out their mouth. They ain't saying nothing. Yeah, they were. That was your muscle city. Chicago and Detroit were once true American muscle power cities. Today, nobody would even want it to drive through them. That's right. It's true. Oh, gosh. They got a place in Philadelphia. You see it on the internet a good bit. It's called Kensington Avenue. That's the name of the avenue. And you just wouldn't believe it. If y'all get a chance and y'all slightly interested in what I'm talking about, remember that and look that up. Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, supposed to be. And you just won't believe the drug addicts lining the streets everywhere, like the living dead. They look like zombies out there because they've taken these drugs that's fentanyl and something called trank. It's like a horse tranquilizer, from what I understand. And it's truly unbelievable that this is being allowed to take place in the public like that on the streets. It's just so many of them. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. Zombie land. No, you must have seen it. You know what? That's a good way to describe it. So yeah, there's a lot of places that I could see in the United States, you know, without leaving the United States. That would be good, but I don't want to go to any of the cities. I don't hardly even like to go to the city that's close to me, and it's not really like a big city like New Orleans or nothing, or Baton Rouge, but you know, I'd just rather stay home. I'd rather do as much as I can at home as I possibly can. Yeah, they trying to. They making it look like they making some headway up there in DC. And they talking about doing some other places too, which they need to. You know, they need to handle up on it some kind of way. Just letting, you know, this catch and release business, that's for the birds, evidently for the jailbirds. So hopefully they clean it up. And then you get so much spin on the news, you know, the mainstream media. Where are you, Jen? What you doing, Jen? You see Jen's over there in the state of New York, but she ain't in the city of New York. The rural areas are still great. There was a lot of manufacturing and stuff still happening here as well, maybe back then at that time, but it was starting to leave at that time as well. Hey, Jen. Yeah, what's going on, Jen? You cooking? You catching fish? What you doing? Yeah, I would recommend if you want to come to a rural area. Yeah, it's not that bad all over. Just avoid the cities if you can. That's what I do. Yeah, sausage sandwiches tonight. Mm-hmm. Like Tennessee, you know, that would be a good state. The Smoky Mountains, that would be a good place to visit. Brasstown, North Carolina. Okay. I don't know about that one, but it might be great. I just never heard of it. But I know it's the Smoky Mountains. That's a beautiful, beautiful place. Some Richard's Boudin at Sam's this past week. Was it good? Everybody over here makes that like local. All Dolly's cousins at a dinner in Pigeon Forge. Oh, Jen, she met all Dolly's cousins at a diner in Pigeon Forge. Yeah, the Smoky Mountains. Got a bunch of peppers coming in right now. I think I'm gonna make an egg and pepper dish pretty soon, but I want to make it with some hot peppers. It when you make it the way that my parents made it, they would boil it. They would boil the peppers, and then they would grind them, and then they would mix that with raw egg, and they would scramble it. So when you would, the finished product would be green. It would look like green eggs. You remember that cartoon Green Eggs and Ham? It actually was green eggs, but it tasted delicious because they'd always use very, very hot pepper in it. You can still see some of the Cajun culture without going to New Orleans. I guarantee you. And I really wouldn't recommend New Orleans. Texas State Fair. The New York State Fair just started 26 miles from here in Syracuse. We don't have local boudin makers. I didn't figure y'all would. I remember as a kid, you can buy boudin, the red or the white, at the Time Saver convenience stores. White, please. The red is what they call blood boudin. Never even tried that. I'll bet it is a big, big fair. It probably is like the World Fair. It's so big. You don't want to meet Lil Wayne. Okay. Not really sure what that means. Dang, Jen was in London. Had some blood sausage in London. Y'all some world travelers. Lil Wayne's from New Orleans. Okay. I hear you. Lil Wayne. I'm gonna have to look up Lil Wayne, y'all, because I really don't know who that is. Trumpet player or something. Oh, American rapper. Ooh, yeah, he looks like he's pretty tough. Got some tattoos on his face. Lil Wayne, y'all. The rapper. Puente said lots of tattoos. He looks like a nice fella, but he does have a lot of tattoos. Looks like he got a tattoo of Texas on his forehead. Y'all see that? Linus said he don't want to meet him. And he's short. Huh. Okay, that's why they call him Lil. Well, that makes sense. Lil Wayne. At New York State Fair, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I guess they're gonna be playing out there. Boy, y'all get some fancy bands over there at that fair. When we have a fair, we don't have nobody like that. He got popular with Eminem in the 2000s with some songs. One of those songs is called No Love. Yeah, I have heard of Eminem. Sure have. Most of them folks are short people, said Pudding. Donnie Warwick, Hermits, some more bands at the state fair up there. Dionne Warwick. Oh yeah, I definitely said her name wrong a while ago. Eminem last year at New York's. Sausage sandwiches tonight, says Jen. What about you, Puddin' Tang? What you cooking over there? What you eating over there, Puddin'? And Linus, what you eating? A WWE match. What is that? World Wrestling or something? Now you see, you got me steady looking stuff up. Y'all educating Miss KK over here. A WWE match. It is wrestling. No, I have not been to one. Thank God. That's a little too much for me. People throwing each other down, body slamming. Wrestling. Okay, so well, it's 7. We had hamburgers and French fries in the air fryer. That sounds good. Pass me one. Pass me one of them hamburgers, Puddin'. So you like the air fryer? You said you just been air frying for a month now? I know my mama got one and she likes it. I never had one, so I really don't know if I would, I don't know nothing about it. And look here, Linus had some Nepali food. Some momos, and I'm probably saying that wrong too, huh? My mom's doing good. She's doing good. She's still at her apartment. She came up with a recipe for some pizza using some low carb tortillas. I'll have to take y'all over there and get her to make us some. Leonard Skinner. I seen that band in Atlanta back in 1988, which it didn't have its original singer then because he had died in a airplane crash before that. But they still sounded good. Oh, I did say it right. Basically, dumplings. I like to watch some of the Nepali stuff, the pastoral life of Nepal, where they stay out there with their sheep, the little families, and it's like a shed they stay in, and they cook inside the shed. They build a fire on the ground in the shed, and that's how they cook all their food. And they cook a lot of rice, and they cook a little bit of vegetables with it. And they cook all kind of little things. Actually, they don't go too much off. They stay close to that rice now, but they cook a lot of stuff with it, which we eat a lot of rice here too. So I could totally relate to that. Mr. E will be wanting to watch his shows. Love it, but there's a learning process for sure. No, the air fryer. I know Mr. E is 7 o'clock. You know what though? When I stay on this late, he starts watching, I think it's Star Trek or something like that plays on regular TV. He did. But I don't want to hold y'all. Y'all got something y'all need to go and do. I could totally understand that. Gotta close all these windows on this phone. I got all kind of stuff open. Our staple food is probably It's probably actually both those, bread and rice, because we eat a lot of that, bread and rice. You know, I'll cook some kind of meat with gravy and make a gravy out of it, and we'll serve that on rice. We eat a lot of deer meat here because my husband hunts deer, so we have deer. You know, that's what we eat a lot of. But I do buy beef every now and then, not very often because it's so expensive. And I like to cook beans, like dry beans. I usually can them so that I'll have them in some quart jars already canned, and then I'll take those out and add a little water to them and some seasoning and eat that with rice. And we also make like casseroles with rice, all different kind of stuff. You can make casseroles with rice. You got nothing pudding? Y'all eat fish too? Yeah, we do. We eat fish, and we even make gravies with fish and eat that on rice. But we eat some fried fish also. But like for the bread, a lot of our meals, like if I don't have something cooked with rice, we'll usually make some kind of sandwich with bread. So that's why I said both. And look, Jen's chiming in saying potatoes here, but you guys do have lots of dirty rice, beans and rice, big Louisiana staple, hovering. Oh yeah, that's for sure. But no, you know, a lot of people, I guess, eat potatoes like we would eat rice, where like you would serve a meal and you'd have potatoes and put gravy on it, maybe. I'm just guessing. And for us, when we eat potatoes, sometimes we'll eat it with gravy, but usually we'll cook potatoes and just put them on the side. And we do eat a lot of starches when you start thinking about it. Bread, potatoes, rice. It's a lot of starches. But you know what? If you work, you don't have to worry about those starches. That's what I find anyway. We work it off, you know, that's carbs and it gives you energy. And as long as you're moving and working it off, I don't think it causes so much of a problem. It's more like if you aren't, you know. More rice. Yeah. Growing up, more rice. You love beans and rice pudding? I do too. And I love any kind of beans. I like the lima beans, red beans. They have the small red beans, the large red beans. I like both of them. The Great Northerns. This is the kind of beans that is sold in our stores here as dried beans, what I'm talking about. Also, I like the peas, like the black-eyed peas. You can buy those dried in the stores here. Lentils, I like lentils a lot. They are very good and they cook super fast. So the lentils cook fast. The peas, they cook pretty fast. And then the beans, they take the longest to cook. Oh, okay. Jen is saying Monday, wash day in Nolans and Minifix beans and rice on Mondays. So they're doing their washing and they're cooking beans and rice. Beans and rice is a big deal around here. People have cooked that for generations because it's cheap. They grow rice here, y'all. They grow rice here, so it's cheap to get. And dried beans, that's cheap too. You can make a lot of meals and feed a lot of people and a lot of bellies with some beans and rice. And before all these food stamps and stuff came into the picture, that's what people fed their families. And it had a lot of nutrition in it. It's got a lot of nutrition in beans and rice. Lots of lentils Germans cook, says Jen. And Lina says him too, he ate more rice growing up. I hope I'm saying that right, Linus. I said he. Um, that may be a female name in your country. I'm not sure, but here in America, Linuses are usually males. But I see you have a pink picture, so I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure. Cheap and delicious. Yes, and nutritious. Why do they eat something that's cheap? Because you got to watch your money, how you spend it. You can't just eat steak and shrimp every night. We hardly ever eat anything like that. Beans and rice, protein and carbs. Yes, ma'am. Oh yeah, you could use the beans, as she's saying, as your protein. You wouldn't have to have that meat. A lot of people, they would cook the beans and they wouldn't put meat because they didn't have the meat. But if you have meat, like a smoked meat or salted meat, that's usually what you would cook in your beans around here. I'm a male, no worries. Okay. Well, that's good. I got it right. I'm glad. Well, it's just a matter of saving money. You sound shocked that we would eat something that's cheap. The combo of beans and rice creates protein in your body. Okay. Well, we sure done ate plenty of it. I can guarantee you that. I had an aunt that had 8 children, and the father was hardly ever in the house, and she had to come, and this was before food stamps and government aid and all that stuff. And she had to be creative to feed those children, and she came up with all kind of ways. She sewed, she took in sewing for people. She had a sewing machine, and she sewed all kind of stuff for people and made money doing that. She also cooked. She did what she knew how to do. She could cook and she could sew, and she cooked all kind of stuff, candies and stuff, and she would like popcorn balls and toffee and just all kind of stuff that she would wrap up and sell and make a few dollars with, just so she could pay her bills, her electric bill and water bill, and buy food for her kids and clothes for her kids. So they ate a lot of beans and rice in that house. And all the kids grew up strong and healthy. No, my family wasn't rich growing up, Linus says. And I was pretty much raised by a single mom, and we always ate cheap staple rice, potatoes, and beans. And lots of other veggies. So you probably are healthy for that. You know, you ate close to nature. Um, no, not really. I wouldn't say it's no hog roast season here. They do that when it's cold because that pork can go bad quick in this heat. So they do that when it's cold. So that would be more like, it really don't get that cold here, y'all, till probably January and February. Now, we might get a little cool snaps in November and December, but it ain't much. Now they do have something called a couchon de lait, which is a hog roast, in May around Mother's Day. And they have a party and the dancing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's called a couchon de lait. That's what they call it. And they got different ways of roasting them pigs. They have wire stuff that they sandwich that hog. They split it like that, and they sandwich it in between some wire, and they'll build a big fire, and sometimes they'll turn it manually, or sometimes they'll put it on some kind of mechanism that'll turn it automatically and roast that hog like that. Some people around here have built what they call a Kunas microwave, and it's basically a box that has a wooden box that has a metal box on top of it, and the metal box will have the coals in it, and they'll turn the pig on the inside of that wooden box. There's all kind of ways to do a cochon de lait, y'all. You know, like in Hawaii, they do them, I think they call them a luau, where they'll cook them on banana leaves, I believe, in the ground. But we don't do that here. You've read about the cochon de lait? They wild, y'all. A lot of drinking involved with that, and music. Okay, so Linus says he's very proud of what food I ate, but once in a while I treat myself with a steak and shrimp and some German bakery items here in the Frankfurt, Germany. I made a zucchini bread today. I'm trying to get away from those boxed junk foods, you know, like the Little Debbie type stuff, or cakes that you buy at the deli, or whatever you want to call it, supermarket. Try to make something, you know, that I know that I can read the ingredients in, like flour, sugar, cinnamon. It's got to be better for you than that other stuff, because that other stuff got so much preservatives in it. It's crazy. And all kind of stuff you can't even pronounce. You don't have any idea what it is, actually. But I mean, I still use some of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to, I've always tried to limit that. Let's just say that. If I'm ever in Germany, we can tour around and eat some delicious German bakery items, plus schnitzel. Yes, thanks to Bobby Kennedy. Did y'all see the person who had his job before him? Yeah. That dude is in shape. You know, he had some kind of a drug problem years ago that he overcame as well. He's something else, and he learned all kind of stuff about taking care of yourself. And now look, here come Jen saying that she done ate some schnitzel in Germany too. That girl done been everywhere. Ban some of those horrible ingredients. Yes, please. We been eating so much junk over here, and we don't even know what's in it. Just like I was telling y'all last week, a Coca-Cola Coke, and I'm not just picking on Coca-Cola, because I'm sure a lot of the other ones are just as guilty, but a 12-ounce Coca-Cola contains 10 teaspoons of sugar. And so I measured that out today just to see what the dry ingredients look like, you know, how much it would measure. And it's 1/4 of a cup of sugar. And when you're looking at it in the cup, you're like, oh my gosh, can you imagine just pouring that into your drink and drinking that? Well, that's what a Coke is, y'all. It's how much sugar it has in it. I mean, if you get like a little drink mix, like Tang or instant tea or something that's already sweetened, you might only put 1 or 2 teaspoons in there to make it how you want it. Not 10. Grated potato pancakes with grated onions and sour cream on top. Oh my gosh, that sounds so delicious. With onions and potatoes and sour cream on top. That is sounding good. I would definitely like to try that. I know sour cream goes good on potatoes, like a baked potato, and you put the little green onion. So I'm sure this is similar, but then you fry it. So I bet it's even better. And or applesauce. Yeah, sweet and salty. Nice. Ooh, Linus. Stout, huh? I bet I would love them. I have to tell Mr. E about that. Get him to cook me some of them. I can cook them too. But he's the potato cooker, y'all. He knows what to do with potatoes. Oh, I know Errol would love them. He loves potatoes. He's mainly the potato cooker around here. For some reason, when I cook them, they don't turn out like his. I don't know why, but they just don't. Yeah, she would, but she's diabetic, so she can't eat too much of that potatoes. That's why she come up with that recipe for that pizza I was telling you about with that low carb bread. It's like a tortilla, but it's low carb. I'm gonna have to go over there and get her to make us some and make a video so y'all can see how she does it. Sometime I make my own bread. I made some the other day. It turned out good too. Look, old man King. Hey Peter, how you doing? Glad to see you. Glad to see you made it. Oh, you squeeze them in a pot. Okay. Well, that's kind of like what you would do with zucchini. I made some zucchini pancakes. That was good too now. But that was mixed into the batter. It wasn't just straight zucchini. But I bet the straight zucchini with the onion would be good too. And probably with the sour cream on it. Probably be awesome. You doing okay, Peter? I seen that you had was it your dog or your cat? I seen you had found one of them. They had came home this morning. Chipper and Matt from Celebrating Appalachia Channel made their own bread. It was cool. I would love to see some of your recipes. Yeah, I did some bread the other day. It turned out good. Bread's really easy to make. The hardest thing about making the bread is waiting for it to rise, y'all. And you ain't got to be around for that. You just mix the stuff up and set it on the side. Let it rise. Come back and put it in a pan and let it rise again and then put it in the oven. I had made some little rolls with mine. It's the same recipe. Whether you make a loaf of it or some little rolls, you could use the same recipe and make some cinnamon rolls with it. All the same recipe. My dog that was missing for 10 days reappeared last night. Well, hallelujah. I know you was happy and I know the dog was too. Yeah, Pudding Tang said, is the dog okay? Been gone for 10 days. I wonder where that dog was at. I wonder, was it at a neighbor's house? Did it get lost? I mean, you may never know, but I wonder where it was. That's a long time to be gone. She's in good shape, he said. Well, hallelujah. Amen to that. I know you was worried because my little dogs used to go missing like that sometime, but I had some little male dogs and they wasn't fixed and they would go missing, you know why? And they would be gone for something like 10 days at a time. And I would go look for them. I would be calling my neighbors, like, have you seen my little dog? He's, you know, this big, he's black and white. The whole 9 yards. I'll be going to people's house looking, tracking them dogs down. And I have found them far from the house. Yes, that's very good news. No, I was raised in a Catholic church, and as I got older, I kind of didn't go to church anymore. And then I started reading my Bible and just was learning more just by reading my Bible, actually, studying it and studying different things like the commentaries in it. And then I got a concordance and I started learning, you know, looking some of the original meanings of the words up and stuff like that. And for a time, I even got into learning some Hebrew, which I learned the alphabet of it, and I learned some words of it, and I was able to read a few paragraphs in the course that I was in, and just learning what the letters meant and what the words meant when you put the letters together and stuff like that. But I really didn't go as deep into it as I could have or should have. And I still have the course here, but I hadn't gone any further in it. But I watch stuff on TV to try to learn what I can about it, and I still read and pray, and you know, pray that my eyes will be open to receive the truth, whatever that truth may be. And so yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I can't see how she could have got back into the fence. Oh, the dog got back into the fence. So I'm thinking she was under the house and was sneaking out to get food and water when I wasn't around. Maybe so, because you know it's hot out there. She might have found her a spot to be cool, and that might be where she was hanging out, was in the cool under the house. Because a lot of animals, dogs especially, will go under the house, especially in the summertime. They dig under there, which frightens me because, you know, our houses here are, a lot of them are up on pillars, and when the dog goes under there and digs, it can disturb that area. Yeah, truth is the answer to all. That's all I want, is the truth, you know. That's all. I don't think it's that much to ask. I think a lot of people are coming to a lot of realizations about things with the truth concerning scripture nowadays. I'm seeing it more and more. It's becoming more and more prevalent. I've been seeing a lot of people, it's like the same messages are coming across to a lot of people who are interested in these kind of things and talk about these kind of things. Louisiana has 22% Catholics. This is coming from Linus, y'all. Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of Canadians here in Louisiana. And I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain really why there are so many Catholics here, but there really are a lot of Catholics here. My mom and dad was both raised Catholic. Errol's mom was raised Catholic. Her mom and dad was raised Catholic. I mean, there's a lot of people that are Catholic here, but there's a lot of Baptists too. You know, the most two prevalent denominations of Christianity here would be Catholic and Baptist, but there's some Pentecostal and Jehovah's Witness, and I'm sure there's some other ones here that I may be leaving out. Yeah, probably because of the French, the Canadian thing. Yeah, that must be what was thinking when I said that. Yeah, that's right, Jen. New Orleans. The Acadians. Acadiana, that's a part of the state, the central part of the state, like around Lafayette and all that. They call that area Acadiana. It's where the Acadians settled. Look, Brett, still on. Wow, sis. I know, right? Mr. E's probably gonna be like, girl, you need to get off that computer. But I guarantee you, he's involved in a Star Trek in there that ain't gonna go off till 8. So I'm probably safe till then. French ancestry. Yeah, exactly. My like I was saying, my mom, her dad was a Duplichin and her mom was a LeBlanc. There's also some Thibodeaux on her side. And then on my dad's side, they were Bascos. So their name comes they come from Spain, the Basques. And the name has changed, the spelling and a little bit of the pronunciation through the many years. But so that's some of the names in my background, you know, from my parents and grandparents. Evangeline story, Jen saying, yeah, I seen that. I had a Donna, my sister who comes on here sometime, y'all see her sometime. She's not on here today, but she had gave me a picture that comes from her father-in-law. And her father-in-law was a state senator. His name was Donald Hines. And he's passed away now. He was a doctor and he was a senator and state senator. Yeah, definitely got French and Spanish. Yeah. But anyway, I got this picture that she gave me from out of his office, and it had, oh, I'm trying to think of that governor's name. He read that Evangeline story, though, whenever he got elected. And he did a lot of charity hospitals and stuff here in Louisiana. Now, I can't think of that man's name, y'all. Don't y'all hate that when you're trying to tell somebody something and you just can't even think about what you're trying to say here? Huey P. Long. Okay, I didn't have to look it up. I thought of it. His name was Huey P. Long, and he made a lot of bridges. He did a lot for the state, y'all. A whole lot. He made bridges and he made hospitals. There was a big charity hospital up in Pineville for years and years. And people who couldn't afford medical care and they needed some kind of surgery or something like that, they could go to that hospital and they could get what they needed. They could get the surgeries they needed and the medical attention that they needed. But he got shot. He got shot in the state capitol here. And I went and toured that one time when I was in trade school. We did some sort of a field trip up to the state capitol. We was doing some sort of protest, like to keep our school open. They was threatening to close it. But while we was up there, we saw the marble on the walls. They have marble in courthouses and all that. That's what they got on the wall in there up there at the state capitol. And you could see the bullet holes in the wall where they shot that man. Huey Long, loved by everyone, but he was kind of corrupted in the end. Maybe so. He may have been. I mean, I don't know the whole story, but I know that those hospitals helped a lot of people, and they're closed now. It's sad. When I had took y'all to the VA the other day in Pineville, that Charity Hospital is near that VA hospital, and it's just totally abandoned. They're not doing anything with it. The building is just abandoned. As far as I know, they're not doing anything with it. Hopefully they'll take it and do something. Now, the rooms in it was very small, because I did visit. I had a family member there at one time that I went to visit, and the rooms were super small. But you don't need a whole lot of big room like you stay in at the Ramada. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the hospital, you're there to get done whatever you need to get done. You don't need a bunch of visitors in there. It's bad enough you can't sleep in there anyway. When you're in the hospital, them nurses in there and orderlies and whoever's working in there, they're in there, which they have to be now. Not complaining, but I'm just saying, you cannot rest in a hospital. No, he's not. He's not Catholic. I'm not Catholic anymore either. So, I was raised Catholic, but that doesn't mean that I'm Catholic forever. I don't see it that way. I really don't claim any religion like that. I just read my Bible and try to learn from it. Learn how to live, learn how to treat other people, and try to figure out what it is that my God wants from me. I think a lot of people are pulling away from those kinds of religions, actually. It seems to be more popular, just Christian, like you said. The more I read the scripture, the more I see it looks like everything in the scripture points to Yeshua, Jesus. Everything points to him. It's all pointing to him. The whole thing, all of it. Well, Linus, I do these on Monday night at 6:00. So I hope you'll come back and join me with every Monday night, because I really enjoy talking with you. For me, Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox, or all directs to the same scripture and doctrine and standards. That's why it doesn't matter. Yeah. My dad used to say we all pray into the same God. Raised Catholic, but I'll go to any church because people are all gathered in his name in the church. Yeah. That's what my dad used to say. He said, we all pray into the same God, y'all. Don't get excited. I've been to a lot of different churches, that's for sure. My neighbors was Baptist. A lot of my very good friends were Baptists, and I would go to church with them too. Well, turn on your notifications. Maybe that would be a way to get a reminder. The little bell thing, if you hit it, it should send you a notification. I enjoy talking to you too. I'm glad all of y'all came in. It's good. A good little chat. I like these small chats because we all get to talk to each other. When you try to go on a channel that has, a lot of people on a chat, you type something in and sometimes you never even get noticed. So I like these small chats like this. I like to go on Old Man King's chat too because of that. And I like how he handles his stream. It's cool. And he does his Sunday night. But anyway, y'all, I'm getting tired. And I hope it will send me a community post or notification. Yeah, I hope so too. I need to do those community post things. I need to look into that. I don't really use that very much. I think I did one or two a long time ago, but I guess it does help your viewers to know what you're doing. I'm so glad y'all all came in, and I hope y'all all have a good night. I don't know if it's night or day over there in Germany right now. That's a good piece off from where we're at. But right here, right now, it's 7:45 p.m. So it's starting to get dark outside. There's just a little bit of light out there right now, but it's almost dark. Well, thank you. Have a great night, Peter and Jen and Puddin', if you're still there. And Mom, I love you, Mom. But before you go, Linus, what time is it over there? What time of day is it over there, Linus, before you go? I'm just curious. Yeah, you gonna eat your sausage, Jen? Well, enjoy it. And I will tell Errol that you said hello. He knows who y'all are because I talk about y'all, He knows. He's like, look, Puddin' Tang left you a comment. Jen left you a comment. He knows. He knows y'all. 2:43 a.m. Wow. In the middle of the night. I'm not getting sleep. Uh-oh. All right. Well, I hope you can get you some sleep. Put your ebook on and turn the lights off. That's what I do, except for I use the old time CD players with a book in them. I'm actually reading one or having one read to me. I should say, my husband always says, I say, I'm okay, I got to read my book. And he says, you're not reading that book. And I said, well, I'm having it read to me. Good night, Puddin' Tang. All right. Good night, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm really leaving this time. Okay. Bye, y'all.